Brace your abs. Push, 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 push. Pop. There you go. You're slow, you're pulling slow.
I didn't initiate for a while.
Yeah.
Deadlifts today. Just worked up to 200 kilos at an RPE 7. Just like the squats, the RPE is based on perfect form. So I feel like 200 kilos pretty much bang on 7. Working at 140 kilos now for, actually no, I'm going to go 160 kilos for a 4x4. And that Manuals is working up to 220 kilos on a low bar squat. Boom!
R.I.P. Vader. The original thick boy.
Cannot wait to get back to this weight.
Body weight or trust me. Sweating whilst wiping your ass.
It's like the Christmas party. It's just like people going around whipping people. Go. Get 300 on the bar.
It was more of a confidence thing with that. 2, 3, 5, because he felt like he was getting, he tried to get up to his back seat, which is what a lot of people do near the pitching it.
He's just so slow off the floor as well, isn't he? I don't know why, he's just so slow.
He's all back.
Yeah.
He's not building his legs up as he can.
Glutes are taking an absolute hammering, but back feeling okay. But enough about my social life. Let's deadlift.
That's my joke.
Alright, ruin it.
Glutes. But like, obviously, then still in territory. How do those work? Push. I'll pull that 4th record. That's the sound of you then.
Come on! Easy. Okay, deadlift's done. Got through them unscathed, back's feeling really good. Glutes are a little bit sore, but that's to be expected. Just gonna do some. Now my back's fucked.
Right in his clit.
Nice. So just gonna do a bit of accessory work and then go home. Alright, just got to Tesco. Gonna go and get some food. More specifically, I'm gonna get quite a lot of vegetables because I really need some foods which are gonna stop with inflammation, which is kind of like the topic of this video. I'm going to sort of talk about it more when I get home and show you what I mean by inflammation. But yeah, let's go and get some food. Okay, so I'm back from the shop. What I had for my post-workout meal was just a protein shake because I've actually for once had most of my calories throughout the day. Normally I have them quite late, so after I train, but yeah, I actually managed to fit them in during the day. So I've just had 2 scoops of casein protein because that's meant to be a sort of slow releasing protein, and I'm just about to go to bed. I had that with a whole bunch of kale for greens and a whole punnet of blueberries, which is 150 grams. So before I get into the sort of topic of this video, here is what I got from the shop. So obviously that's just a load of greens, a load of vegetables, a load of meat, obviously for the protein. Got some smoked salmon, because salmon's obviously a good omega-3 as well. So yeah, that's my attempt at being healthy. That's going to sort of see me through for the next couple of days. So yeah, let's talk about the topic of this video, which is my bloating. So I believe there's a number of reasons why I bloat so much. So here is what I look like. This is me just completely relaxing. This isn't me sticking my tummy out. This is literally me relaxing. So obviously you can see there is a massive amount of bloat. I've pretty much always had this. I think number one, the main reason for this is just my genetics. I genetically am a sort of skinny fat guy. So I've always had that sort of lordosis, which means that my sort of stomach pushes out a little bit more anyway. So that's obviously one thing. So my dad pretty much had a similar tummy like that. My brother has that as well. So it's that sort of skinny fat look. The other thing is obviously my diet. My diet is not great. The foods that I eat a lot of the time, like going out, will cause an inflammatory response. Just the amount of grease that I'm having, that's obviously not good. The lack of vegetables, which will decrease inflammation in the gut. The amount of alcohol that I consume, that's obviously another inflammatory thing that is putting stress on my body. When your body is in stress, it releases more cortisol, and that can cause things like more water retention, which can give you that sort of bloated look. So the more salt that I have in these sort of meals as well, that can obviously again hold a lot of water and give you this look. So I've literally pretty much always had this, even when I'm pretty lean. So even when I'm around sort of 12 to 14% body fat, which I have been at some point in my life, you'll be shocked to find out, I've still had this sort of lordosis, or like this protruding stomach. So I think the biggest, like I said, the biggest thing I think is genetics. That's just like how my body is put together. I store more fat around my stomach. I retain more water around my stomach, which kind of sucks because from an aesthetic point of view, it obviously doesn't look good. But in a way, it kind of helps with things like squat and deadlift, because then I can get a really nice brace into the belt. So the final thing that kind of causes this as well, more to a lesser degree than the other two things, is I've actually got quite significant abdominal muscles, believe it or not. Just from the amount of squatting and deadlifting I've been doing, my actual torso and all of the musculature in my trunk is actually very strong and quite well developed. So that obviously pushes everything out anyway. So call it the power belly, call it what you want. Yeah, just because of the amount of compound lifting that I've been doing over the last sort of 5-6 years, that has obviously caused my abdominals to hypertrophize, if that's a word. And yeah, they're just more developed, and that sort of just makes me have that look about me, I suppose. So yeah, those are the sort of 3 main reasons for it. 2 of those things I cannot do anything about. Well, obviously I can if I stop lifting in terms of the hypertrophy, but the other one being genetics, I can't do anything about that. But the diet, obviously I can, so that's something I'm looking to try and do. So hopefully that will sort of help bring down some of the bloating. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Bit of a weird topic, I know, but something I just felt like sharing with you all. So yeah, I suppose I should quickly talk about how the training went today. It went pretty well. 200 kilos, felt really light, felt really good. It has very slightly sort of aggravated my back a little bit. It's kind of to be expected, really. I literally spent about 40 minutes mobilizing, not mobilizing, like stretching, post-workout and foam rolling, that sort of thing. So hopefully I'm going to be feeling pretty good tomorrow. I'm going to go and have a bath now before I go to bed. So yeah, fingers crossed it's still okay tomorrow. And yeah, I am going to be training tomorrow, but I can't remember what I'm going to be doing. Probably some sort of bench, some sort of squat. But yeah, light, because I've done my 2 heavy days. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Like I say, please leave the video a like if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.